Another great Wednesday morning, and we're giving it to you unrehearsed, unplanned, and unscripted. This is the Mguda Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network. We do this every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, between the hours of 7 and 10, or rather 8 and 10. Look at me, still reeling from when we were doing a 3-hour show. Between the hours of 8 and 10. Sorry about that. Giving you a daily dose of positivity that is accompanied by a very energetic start to the day. The Mguda Breakfast Show tries to give you all-encompassing, compelling, and of course thought-provoking conversations, and we want to hear from you. Join us, join the conversation, and I really need you to tag a friend or tell a friend to tag a friend that the Mguda Breakfast Show is live and kicking. But it would not be the Mguda Breakfast Show without giving you your daily picture of the day, and this morning is no exception whatsoever. On the 20th of May 2026, on a Wednesday morning, today we are highlighting the Golden Gate Highlands National Park, which is nestled in the foothills of the Maluti Mountains near Clarence in the Free State. It is renowned for its striking golden-hued sandstone cliffs that glow brilliantly at sunrise and sunset. Covering over 34,000 hectares, the park offers a rich tapestry of landscapes, from rolling grasslands and deep valleys to dramatic rock formations. Wildlife thrives here, with species such as black wildebeest, eland, and blissbok, and the rare beer-bedded vulture. Bird watchers delight in spotting more than 200 species, while hikers enjoy trails that reveal breathtaking vistas and hidden caves. The Basotho Cultural Village provides a glimpse into traditional life, adding cultural depth to the natural beauty. Whether exploring on foot, horseback, or even a car, visitors are immersed in a serene environment that combines adventure with history and tranquility. The Golden Gate Highlands is a jewel of the Free State, offering unforgettable encounters with nature's grandeur. Very exciting stuff. So I would really encourage you to put the Highlands Park as one of the places that you need to visit in your itinerary, or rather in your bucket list. And of course, you can reach out to us right here on the Mguda Breakfast Show and tell us what the experience was like. But with that being said, let me quickly run to the kitchen and grab myself a very hot steaming cup of coffee so that I can rehydrate and warm myself. But during the break, we will be coming back after the break with Mugeti My Money, giving you your latest news and sports update.
And once again, a very good morning. These are some of your top stories making headlines this morning. Starting off with your first headline: a doctor faces lawsuit after botched cesarean death. A South African court has ruled that a doctor must face a medical negligence lawsuit after a woman died following a cesarean section. The case centers on claims that mistakes during the procedure led to her death. The ruling means the matter will now move forward to trial, where evidence will be examined in detail. The outcome could have major implications for accountability in public health care. The last news headline: Kachalia warned to prevent chaos if Ramaphosa is removed. Concerns have been raised about potential instability if President Cyril Ramaphosa were to be removed from the office. It has been suggested that responsibility would fall on leadership figures, including Kachalia, to ensure a smooth transition and avoid chaos. The discussion comes amid ongoing political tensions and debate around impeachment processes. The focus remains on maintaining stability and protecting democratic institutions. Your last news headline: Trump proposes refuge for white South Africans. Donald Trump has proposed allowing 17,500 white South Africans to enter the United States as refugees. The idea has sparked debate, with critics questioning the basis for refugee status and supporters citing safety concerns. The proposal has drawn international attention, raising questions about immigration policy and South Africa's social conditions. That's all we have for your news headlines. Heading over to your sports news. Starting off with football news. Pep Guardiola is set to leave Manchester City after a historic decade. Pep Guardiola is expected to leave Manchester City at the end of the season after nearly 10 years in charge. Reports says his final match could come this weekend. During his time, he won multiple trophies, including 6 Premier League titles and Champions League. City have not confirmed the news yet, but plans for a celebration parade could also act as his farewell. Still on the football news, Orbit College hold key to Pirates' title fate. Orbit College are central to the final day of the league season, fighting relegation while also influencing Orlando Pirates' title hopes. The results could decide both survival and the championship race. Pirates will be hoping for a positive outcome as they chase the title. Your next headline, Cupido plays through pain in the CAF final victory. Mamelodi Sundowns defender Keanu Cupido played through pain in the CAF Champions League final after receiving an injection for a shoulder injury. His performance helped the Sundowns secure a 1-0 win in the first league. He says he was willing to do anything for the team. That's all we have for your news and sports headlines. If you want to share your thoughts and your sentiments using the hashtag Vuga Breakfast Show, you can do so on YouTube or send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. For now, stay put and we will see you after this short break.
Heartbeats up and down, I'm in a gambling phase. Going round and round, it's a trampoline stay.
It's another beautiful Wednesday morning right here on the Vuga Breakfast Show, where of course we are getting rid of your midweek slump. It is your energetic start to your day, accompanied by that daily dose of positivity. Very good morning to those who have just of course joined us right here, as we're going to be unpacking a lot of things. We need you to engage with us on all social media platforms. We are Vuga Breakfast. We are Vuga Breakfast Show across all social media platforms. And of course, if you want to dial us in, the number to call or to send your voice note, it's 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. My name is Moketi, my man. I'm happy and excited to be with you, of course, on this beautiful Wednesday morning until the hour 10 o'clock. Let us engage and, of course, let us have some great time. You know that I'm always not alone. I'm always not alone. I'm with my great team right here. All right, guys. How's it going? How's it going on this beautiful Wednesday morning?
Midweek slump.
Yeah.
Midweek slump. It is the 20th of May 2026, Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
And the weather is somewhat behaving, I guess. Not so much, sort of. Like I've been mentioning, and I told you that you and Mr. B should be the last people to be complaining about the cold. I'm the only person who has validity.
Don't you complain about summer? Sometimes?
No.
When it's hot?
But do we complain about winter?
No, I'm saying you shouldn't.
Oh.
As much as you haven't. More did the last time, and fast.
But it's more like acknowledging.
You shouldn't.
It's cold.
Don't.
It's cold.
You love the winter.
Just like Luyanda or
No,
Exactly.
Have you ever said?
I love it for you. But guys, I'm enjoying this weather. I do, because I do love it. I do. Anyway, we're bringing to you live, unrehearsed, unscripted, coming to you live from the Vuga studio, situated in the heart of Soweto, Top Santa. This is right next to Zolile Hills and just before you get to Brumfisher Kloof. We do this every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, between the hours of 8 and 10, giving you a daily dose of positivity that is accompanied by a very energetic start to the day. And you know that you're always spending some great, amazing quality time with myself, the one and only MOOCEE Mist. My name is Musi Mist, man. I'm happy. I am. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to having a great energy exchange with you. One thing that's putting me off is that I forgot one of my hats. This is not the hat that I wanted to wear, guys.
Okay.
So I forgot it. So it's just one of those mornings.
Not matching.
You know?
Yeah.
No, it is, Chief. No. If you can see the rest of the ensemble. Coordination is a thing of mine, man. Coordination. Mo, do you have great hand-eye coordination? Do you have it? Are you nice?
Great
Hand-eye coordination.
Hand-eye. It's like hand and eye.
Yes.
Hands and eye.
Hand-eye coordination.
No, I'm working towards it. I'm working towards it because I want to collect pieces of watches. It's something that I want to do. Like I want to collect.
Okay, but what does that have to do with hand-eye
Because it
it's
catches
either you
the
have
eye
it
and it goes
or
on
you
the
don't.
hand.
hand-eye coordination? So
as in agility as well.
yes, hand-eye coordination would be like that's what I mean.
Oh, my
It's either
mind
you
is
have it or
somewhere
you
else.
don't.
So I don't-
Hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, like for example, if I were to throw something your way, imagine,
Yeah.
but not directly at you,
Yeah.
and I just throw it just kancane offset.
Would you be able
Would
to,
you be
like,
able to catch
pick
it?
it up?
Yes. I think there's this test they want because not everyone has that 180 degrees, right? So I
Peripheral
do.
view.
Yeah, I do have the 180 degree because if I am like looking at you right now, I can see what Musi is doing. Because I've had friends, who do things like I see you, like I can see you, so I'll pretend okay, I'm not seeing what is happening, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, I do have it.
Yeah, man, that's the only thing that's putting me off. Other than that, I think I'm okay. I'm just a bit tired. I need decompressing. I need to visit the Cairo. I don't know about you guys, but there's a place in Bramfisher that I came across on TikTok, and I want to go to that place. I want to visit. I think it's about 500 or something.
They massage people.
Yeah, why put it like that?
Is it a
Put it as if-
chiropractor or a spa?
No, there's no. It's not a chiropractor, but they do something along those lines.
Yeah,
I need that. I really need that because I can slowly feel the mid-year slump creeping in, and I think it's gonna hit me quite hard. The way the end of year slump did in December, you can
that one
remember
hits
it.
hard.
Like those last 2 weeks of the year were like, yo, guys, the 19th of December, and you know that we still have quite a lot of work ahead of us.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not complaining. This is where we saw ourselves getting to in a year's time, and we're here, man, and I'm looking forward. So if you've just tuned in, share it as far and as wide as you can. Tell a friend to tag a friend that the Vuga Breakfast Show is live and kicking in and coming to you live, giving you all-encompassing, compelling, and of course thought-provoking conversations right here on the Vuga Breakfast Show. On Wednesdays, this is where balance is found. On Wednesdays, this is where balance is found. Use the hashtag Vuga Breakfast Show, and of course dial the number 060-493-3226. That's 060-493-3226. It would be remiss of me to not mention our friends all the way in Durban. If you're hanging out with us right here on the Durban airwaves, Underground Radio DBN, stand up. How are you guys doing? Engage with us on their website. Use www.undergroundradiodbn.co.za. That's www.undergroundradiodbn.co.za. High definition radio is what we give you, rather, because we are right underground as well, right? Yes, sir. Mo, talk to me.
Yeah, we have a lot. Yeah.
I am boycotting.
You usually go first. I barely ever go first when you're at the table.
Oh, no problem. So good morning to the Vuga Nation. I hope you guys are doing amazing. To those who know me and those who don't know me, I go by the name of Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Place. But to the darker the berry, the sweeter than dun. And I hope you guys are doing amazing on this Wednesday morning. If you're not wearing a jersey, hey, 10 back and make sure that you grab yourself a nice and warm jacket or a jersey, because we're taking it's about time where people don't visit and actually stay in their own houses. But I hope you guys are feeling energized, because we're all about giving you your daily dose of positivity, making sure we also serve you nothing but the best to start off your energetic start to the day.
Yeah, of course, that's what we aim to do, and we hope that you're going to be with us, engaging throughout. And of course, not forgetting to follow us on all social media platforms. Instagram, it's Vuga Breakfast Show. Facebook, Vuga Breakfast Show. TikTok, Vuga Breakfast Show. And also on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and press the notification button so that whenever we go live, you will be notified that your best breakfast team is ready to kickstart this beautiful morning with you. With that being said, just a reminder of what took place around the beginning of the year. There's a huge I don't know what to even call it, but it was a headline, right? When I went through some of the headlines, we read that Trump has proposed that Refugee for white South Africans is opened, right? So there was a huge headline in South Africa that was going through that there was white genocide happening, and Trump and his administration opened doors for South Africans, white South Africans to be specific, that they can come through, and the doors are open for them to come to the US to run away from what is happening, because apparently they say white farmers are being killed. Right? 7,500 South Africans went to the US and they welcomed them. But this morning we've just found out that he has opened a gate for another 10,000 white farmers or white South Africans to come to the US. So the former US President Donald Trump has proposed allowing 17,500 white South Africans to enter the United States as refugees. Right? When we read that, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are asking themselves, like, why are you still doing that? I mean, none of the genocide is happening. There's no proof that white genocide is happening. Where's the stats that these are the white people that are being killed? Yes, where are the bodies? Like, we are not even attending, like, even the funerals, because if there was genocide, we know that there's a stat. Right now, there's war happening, right, in the Middle East. Each and every day, we are getting stats that these are the amount of people that were killed in the country, right? But as the administration of Donald Trump has proposed raising that U.S. refugee cap from 7,500 to 17,000, with about 10,000 additional slots reserved specifically for white South Africans. This policy is highly controversial, with Washington claiming Afrikaners face discrimination, while the South African government strongly rejects those claims. I don't know. What are your take when it comes to this?
Like, firstly, is why are we still talking about this over a year later? Like, I'm sorry, like, this is part of the reason why I sort of like don't consume news like that. Like, why are we still talking about this over a year later? Over a year later. Seriously, like, what's happening?
If you wanna go.
Like, what? Like, it's tiring. I'm sorry. Just thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
It's just tiring. It's just really, really tiring, and it weighs on us as a country, as a society, guys. Like, last time US like, they work low-end jobs.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, and like, guys, like, no, why are we still talking about these?
What is a low-end job?
The jobs that you want like being a busboy.
Yeah, restaurant, waiter, those normal jobs. When you go for an American, what do you call it? The American dream. Like those jobs that you start with, you know, when you are in your journey to reach the American dream. Like, you would start as a waiter, you would start, janitor, you know, those kind of jobs.
It sounds like a fancy word, but clean about.
Until
the janitor is not fancy. There's another one.
The word janitor. No, I'm a janitor.
No,
then you discover we are cleaner.
We call it cleaner this side.
There's another one for those people who work in waste management, right? Lababa says they will pick it up.
Yeah.
Like, there's a term, there's another word for it.
In the US?
No, wow.
Across Egypt.
Just across, but like, there's a fancy way of saying that you work for
waste consultant,
something like that.
Even when you work at ShopRite, I'm a merchandiser.
You know, those kinds of things. So it's just tiring that over a year later we're still talking about these things. Like, bro, like, what else needs to be done? And thus now it feeds into the thing that this is completely intentional and purposeful, Mr. Moore. Because clearly by now, we've talked about it so long, so extensively. It's been proven time and time again. Trump, where are you getting this information from? Where is the proof of the things that you are claiming?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? And he can't produce anything, or his administration can't produce. Yep. It's just tiring. Like, no, we can't be going through this again. I think we've gotten to a point where, nicely so, guys, if you want to leave, like, bounce.
Exactly.
Like, if you want to bounce,
the door is open
bounce.
for those
Like, this thing of now nursing people's feelings and saying, yeah, but white South Africans, hey, like, no, like, you can leave. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, leave, and then we'll talk to you after 6 months when you guys want to come back again. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, but it's exactly.
You know, I laugh because, Trevor spoke about this German word that you find pleasure in other people's discomfort. Schadenfreude.
Okay. Is that the word?
That's the word, I think. So it's like you left the country and then you are
Thinking
suffering
you'll
that
get-
side.
And you're suffering more than you were this side.
Yeah, so when we experience a moment of Schadenfreude, it's like we are happy.
Yes.
Ukuthi you are suffering.
You are suffering.
But yeah, where were you going?
I mean, you left all your privilege this side, right? You left all your privilege because one thing that I'm picking up is there's this refugee policies that goes across all of the countries. That if countries allow refugees and they build up policies, around them, it kind of brings favor to them. If the ANC, because what the ANC is trying to do with this whole xenophobic thing is they're trying to show people that we are one Africa at the end of the day. These are our brothers and sisters, right? And when we accept them, those people are going to be given a right to vote. And guess who they're going to vote for? The party that fought for them, right? So as much as what Trump is doing with his administration, he's showing that we are for whites. If white people are suffering or white people are, facing, situations out there that need us as the administration to come and help, we are going to come and help them, right? But yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know. What's your take, Afipi, on this?
Man, this thing is like dead and gone, actually, man. It's just an exaggeration. You're worried about white people from a different country suffering while you have black people in your country who are suffering. When are you going to help the people in your country to become better instead of looking into other people's countries? Where does that make your country stand much more higher or glorified in a certain way? There's so many incidents that are happening within the US itself that he's not dealing with. You have ICE out there busy taking people out, going to people's houses, and you are not even dealing with that. They're doing procedures that are not even legal when it comes to the search for illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
And you are worried about getting South African white Afrikaner outside of South Africa all the way to America. If you want to become a better person, take them back to Germany, Dutch, wherever they come from. If their own motherland, where they originally come from, is not even standing up for them, then who are you to judge? We have white Afrikaners who come from the Netherlands. Some are probably from Germany, but you won't even hear Germany or Netherlands even commenting and say, no, we'll take back all of those people who are like original Dutch people who are still in South Africa and are seeking asylum out there in different countries. They're not even doing that at this moment. In this current moment, you're taking them from South Africa, taking them to the US. They're complaining about the food parcels that they're getting. Apparently, the food parcels are literally next to nothing. They're literally not getting anything, and they're still complaining. And yet, you're still opening your arms and trying to become the savior to people who don't necessarily need to be saved because they're not being butchered.
Yes.
But in the end, you're just gonna yap around as if they wanna leave. I support me. If they wanna leave, they can go. It's not gonna have an effect on South Africa. But if they wanna come back, they must go back to Netherlands and Germany. They must not come back here.
Very interesting takes. We want to hear from you. What do you think? Because U.S. President Donald Trump has proposed that he is going to be allowing 17,500 South Africans, white South Africans to be specific, as refugees. You can let us know by using the hashtag Vuga Breakfast Show.
Do you want to be a white South African refugee?
Do I want to be a white South African? Guys, why would you want to leave South Africa? Like, much better, even if it's we are going through some of the hardest situations in this country, man. I think we do find a way of consoling each other. We do find a way of being united, even though some of the people are not aware. But there's that unity that South Africans have amongst. But if you're in the US, you've seen how black people complain about living in that system and living in the US. Like it's so bad to a point that when they come this side, they're like, this is the motherland, bro. No, I will never feel like that is the motherland when I'm in the
But
US.
would you, in general, would you want to visit the US someday?
Yes, I would want to
Someday,
visit the US. Yes, you. I think
If I want to go to Vegas,
guys,
like before the age of 40,
yeah,
I'm left with 10 plus years. I get I'm 26, by the way.
Ooh, I was
Do you want to
saying,
know 26? But yeah, man, before the age of 40,
Yeah.
because after 40, I feel like I'm getting more for the things that I want to do.
You want to
Yeah.
go
Or
to
for
Vegas?
to Vegas.
for the
What do you want to do there?
no, for the perception that
you can't do at 41.
no, for the perception that we have as non-Americans and those of us who have never visited America.
Yeah.
The perception that is drawn, or the connotation that is attached to Vegas, as you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
A place,
Be
best place
careful
to
not
be.
to get married in Vegas.
No, I'm not gonna get married.
Hashtag Vegas is the best place to be.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Don't make
Nevada.
it, don't create
I
your
wanna go
own
out
hangover
into
movie there.
I wanna go out into that desert, man, and I wanna see what the hype is
Nevada
about.
desert.
Yeah, I wanna see what the hype is about. So, yeah, I wanna visit Vegas, of course, and other places as well. I mean, New York, obviously, I wanna see. The most famous state, I guess,
Yeah.
or arguably one of the most famous states in the US.
California, guys, yo.
LA, you know.
Shish.
Well, Cali, okay, Cali.
Yo,
I wanna go to
Cali,
ATL, man.
Yo.
ATL Chicago, come on,
Yo.
man, come on. If you're someone like me who's watched Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, like yeah, man, like I wanna visit. I'm a Chi Town. I mean, it's one of the coldest states or cities in the US, but I wanna visit. Man.
I think is Beverly Hills gated?
No,
Yeah, but Beverly Hills is gated.
It's gated.
no, it's
Yeah.
not gated, but there are certain portions of Beverly Hills
That are gated.
gated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like in New York, in Gramercy Park. Gramercy Park is a gated park and only accessible to those who are living literally
Within the
part,
Yeah.
like
But wait, are you saying there's the slums of Beverly Hills?
no,
Because
it's-
Beverly Hills,
so Beverly
that's
Hills
where,
is like
that's
Santon
where the
for us.
celebrities live. So
Yes.
by
Well,
gated, do you
mostly
mean?
in LA?
But do you
Like,
mean?
can I go there, like as someone who's driving, just to
Yeah.
drive through and see?
Yes,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
can.
sure,
You
sure.
know, just like Horton, right? You can
Yes.
drive through Horton and see the
And Santon,
houses.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
can.
probably could, because
Yeah.
there are some houses who got turned into
can.
museums where celebrities used to live in Beverly Hills, so you could even end up touring a house.
No,
Yeah.
you can more, but it's
Look at us giving more advice, but none of us have been there.
No, I've been, guys. No, I've been. Let's say pardon, man. No, I've been. But yeah, those. I mean, someday Vegas is on my bucket list.
Yeah.
But you know, there's these states where you don't see a black person for
A while.
mile.
Yeah.
Wow.
Would you want to
South.
visit,
kinds
especially
of
in the
places?
south, like
Orania.
Alabama?
Like Bo
Oh, I actually want to go to Alabama.
Like Orania, there's no black
states.
person.
But remember, the majority, the population there is white.
Sure.
Yeah? So do you want to go to Alabama where you
Yeah, I
don't see
do.
a black person? You're the only black.
Sweet home
Yo, that's gonna feel so
Alabama.
uncomfortable. Yo.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Let me.
It will feel so uncomfortable.
Here's something that Trevor said on his podcast. I don't know who he was with on that panel, on that specific episode. But is it Ryan Coolidge, the director of what's the latest movie? Yeah, Creed. Who's that guy who plays Creed?
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, the one, the animated one that just came out.
The movie man, where where he's a twin brother.
Sinners.
Sinners.
Yeah.
Sinners. The director. I think. But the director of Sinners, apparently he spent a couple of weeks or a couple of days in South Africa. So he did the whole touring thing where he was taken around and so someone who was part of that party when he was this side is friends with Trevor, and Trevor says, and I might be paraphrasing here, but Trevor says that he saw Ryan literally letting go and he says that he cried, right? Because he says he had never felt anything like that, in the sense that it's a different feeling to being home for him, and home being the US, obviously, where it's how I understood it, it almost seemed as if, or it came off as if his guard is always up, when he's back home. You know, you're always looking over your shoulder somewhat, in a sense.
But here you don't have to.
But when he was this side, like, he felt like it was the first time when he let go, literally, and it felt like, guys, no one is watching me.
Yeah.
No one
black,
cares.
white?
Yeah, he's black. He's a black
okay.
guy. He's a black guy, right? That's why I know Michael B. Jordan. Like, they really gel and they work well together. But it's like, I don't have, like, if people are looking at you, they're not looking at you because you're black. They could be looking at you because of something you're wearing,
Style.
or your style, or the way you're walking, or something on your face, or whatever. But you're not being looked at because you're black, you know. And when he said that, I think, I don't know, it sort of triggered me, not in a bad way, but in a sense that I think we take, to some level or on some extent, right, we sort of take how the majority of the people in South Africa are black people. And we've never really been in a situation where you're the minority, you know, which is crazy for me. So I would, like Mr. P, now thinking about it as you're mentioning it, Khore, like, would I want to go to a state that is densely populated with white individuals? I don't think so. I wouldn't want to have that feeling over my shoulder. You know, more so nagile, you know.
Yeah,
Like, even Orania, in our own South African country, I wouldn't want to go to Orania, not even for experience. Chief, I wouldn't want to do that to my psyche. Like, no. But people are looking at you and like, oh, what are you here for? And no, man, I wouldn't want to make myself feel like that. But anyway, very interesting conversations that we have right here on the Vuga Breakfast Show. A bit later on, we're going to be in conversation with some very, very cool people. And I look forward to you experiencing that engagement. But for now, what I want us to do, because we've been talking for a while, right? Let's quickly go pay our bills and rehydrate, warm ourselves up, and then you and I, Afriberry, Mr. Mo, and Mr. P, will see each other right after this.
Welcome back, Vuga Nations. At this moment, we are joined by two prestigious professors all the way from UNISA. We are joined by Dr. Zolile Mguda, and we're also joined by Dr. Luyanda Noto. Now, Dr. Zolile Mguda from the UNISA Department of Mathematical Sciences grew up in the Eastern Cape, where he went to 9 different schools in 5 or 6 different towns, and he is an astronomer and was also trained at UCT, and he also sings bass, which I've also been blessed to see because I met him at JPO, which happens at Wits University, and he also has an interest in skilling young people on how to learn and acquire new skills from the and we also do have Dr. Luyanda Noto from the University of South Africa too, originated from Betele. He also trained in experimental condensed matter physics at University of Free State. His research focuses on persistent limestone materials for solar cells, electrical free lighting, and biological imaging. As well as sunlight-driven hydrogen production for future drone energy applications. Doc, how you doing? Hi, Doc. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
I'm amazing, Doc. I don't know what Dr. Zolile is even calling me right now on the phone instead of being on the chat. But I'm gonna quickly send him a text so he can actually join us online. But Doc, I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, and thank you very much for making the time to actually come in and have a talk with us.
Thank you so much. No, it's always a pleasure. We are always happy to share the little that we have with the community.
No, I'm glad to hear that, Doc. So, Doc, would you mind giving us a much more brief insight on who exactly you are and what exactly do you do at UNISA?
Yeah, great. So maybe just to start by correcting you there. Sorry for that.
No problem, Doc.
I'm Luyanda Noto. I am from Betuli, not Bethel.
Betuli.
Betuli, that's in the southern Free State. It's a completely rural town, just before you cross the Orange River to the Eastern Cape. So I trained as a physicist with the University of the Free State. And then after training with them, I then proceeded to apply my sciences at the laboratories of UNISA. This is where now I'm working on luminescence. Luminescence, which is nothing else but just cold emission of light. For you to be able, a typical example is for when you're holding your cell phone, for you to be able to see all those images, it is true a luminescent material. It is the one which is giving you all those nice images and everything. When you're looking at your television, you are able to see the cartoons or whatever that you're watching there in all these different colors. It's because of luminescent materials, and that's what I am working on mostly. And I include that now in different applications. And that would now be working with luminescent material for persistent output. That would now be developing a light bulb which does not need electricity. Now you can just recharge it using sunlight, and then you put it back inside the house, and it will then continue to give you light for a long period. That's just one of the applications where I am applying my knowledge in.
Oh no, that's pretty amazing, hey, because I didn't know that there's actually such a skill that actually helps us to see color. For me, I'm just a simple person, and I just thought that color is just there. The color is just that's what I initially thought in my head. I never thought that there's actually a specific wording for it. I just thought, you know what, I just see color and color's there and I'm all happy about it. No.
Yes. Understandable. And I think that's one of the things that we want to bridge, coming to the communities to explain. Actually, science is all around us. It's all around us, and it just needs to be explained. And I think we are there for that.
No, that's pretty exciting, Doc. And I do know that you guys actually want to talk to us about an amazing initiative that you guys started, which is called Science on the Move. Would you mind telling me more information about what the program does and what's the aim around it?
All right, thank you so much for that. So we have different activities at UNISA which are meant at empowering the communities with sciences, empowering schools with sciences, and specifically with UNISA we've got it's a bigger university, and then we've got colleges, and then within the colleges we've got schools. Now in our school we have what we call a Science Edge, which is meant to empower the learners, empower communities with sciences, or maybe to impart knowledge of science to the schools and to the communities. Now, out of that, we had to work on different programs. We've also worked with SASTA, which is the South African Agency for Science and Technology Advancement, under the NRF, where we had to develop learner materials in the form of booklets, in the form of posters, in the form of videos where we visited different companies, and we would interview different scientists, different experts in all these different fields, and thereafter we bring the material together and package it so that it can now go to the communities, to the learners, so that they can learn through this making. So out of that, we learned that most people, they learn out of experience. So giving them a lot of theoretical work really does not give them much knowledge, rather than when they are actively involved in something, working on something, gathering their own experiences. So from there came now this initiative of Science on the Move. And Science on the Move, we are positioning it. I must say that it's a new activity that is coming under Science Edge of UNISA, which is mostly going to focus on giving communities the practical experience of sciences. For an example, to do science, for example, when you're cooking, you're basically doing sciences as well, because you would need to combine a couple of things there. You need your maize, you need water, and then you need heat. That's now chemistry that is being involved in the process. So most people, if you were to just tell them about cooking, they are not likely to grasp the concept of cooking. For example, umphokoqo to completion, or pap in modern term, to completion, up until they have their own experience of cooking. So after realizing that, we then embarked on this journey to say, let's go to communities, let's teach them sciences, give them that practical experience, be it learners at schools, be it communities just engaging with the layman, making them aware of different sciences. And also there are many topics of interest on a daily basis that involve, or maybe that move around sciences. So we will be taking different experts to different communities to engage on science activities that happen all around us. One of them being, we initially knew ESCOM, and then we are moving away now from ESCOM. We see all these solar farms, wind farms, So most communities, they would have these solar farms and wind farms, and still they don't have an idea how they operate to generate electricity. So we are making it now our mission to go to communities, to engage with them, make them aware. The reason we've got more solar farms in the Northern Cape is because of this, and this is how they operate. And this is how electricity generated in the Northern Cape can benefit someone in Durban, someone in Cape Town, and how that is done. So yes, this we're making it our mission as Science on the Move now.
Oh, that's amazing. That's something amazing. Because we also live in a world, for example, like me, when I was a student, I believe that mathematics and science was just something that was just too hard for me to even learn or even grasp on. And I also want to know, how does Science on the Move help to make these subjects easier to understand for somebody who's currently in grade 10 right now, or somebody who's in grade 9, looking forward to choosing their own subjects to guide their career career path, how would you explain or how would you let them know that choosing science or mathematics is not even such a bad thing, and there actually comes some amazing benefits when you actually choose those two subjects?
Yes. Just dwelling around this PAP science, most schools, particularly schools in the rural areas where we come from, we had to learn physical sciences from a textbook. We just had to learn mathematics from a textbook. And the assumption that we make when you're starting from a textbook is that if a concept is presented in a particular way, then it remains that way. It does not change. And this is because of the lack of the experimental part, which the Science on the Move is now trying to address when we go to communities, when we go to school, so that learners get to understand that science is something that is dynamic, and science is something that needs you to apply yourself. It needs you to experiment before you can have a clearer picture. For example, which I was making earlier about cooking pap. It's a very simple thing which you do on a daily basis without taking note that you have now begun to do some experimental work at home. If I come to you and I tell someone that is going to cook pap for the first time, you must have maize, you need to have water, and then you need to have heat, and say, if you've got those combinations, then you are able to cook pap. End of the day, we are likely to have your pap. It's unlikely that you're going to coin it. And if you have someone that is standing next to you, putting a lot of pressure on you that you are not capable of cooking pap, then eventually you're likely to believe that I'm not able to cook pap. But if you have someone that is patient enough to show you, this is how you cook pap, you boil water first, and then after boiling water, you need to add maize, and then after that you need to do the mixing, and after doing the mixing, you allow this to simmer for a certain period, then you come back and again to do more mixing, and then maybe after mixing 3 to 4 times, then you are likely to come out with pap. And also you need to regulate your heat. So once you have someone like that that is working with you, patient enough to teach you this, then you are likely to pick up that,
Doc.
So
I'm sorry, Dr. Z just joined us. I don't know if you can actually hear us.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we definitely can, Doc. No problem you were saying, Doc? Dr. Noto?
Yes. Thank you for that. So I was saying, if you don't have someone that is able to teach you the method correctly at first, and also be patient enough to take you through different stages of cooking this pap, then you are likely to believe that you are not capable. And also after learning to do that, I think one would need to apply themselves thereafter. It's a practical thing, practical example with this pap thing that we are talking about. You cook it today, and then down the line you're unable to cook it correctly. And we've got different textures of pap. So for you to be able to cook all these different textures of pap, it means you need experience. So these are the basic things which are coming together. You need someone that's going to show you the correct method, be patient with you, and that's now I'm preferring to teach. And then after learning all these things, for you to be able to apply yourself and perfect, you need to continuously engage in this experience, which you would not have otherwise learned how to do if you were just told, mix this, mix that, and then eventually find your way around it, which is what happened to most people that learn in environments without laboratories.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Dr. Zolile, would you mind introducing yourself to our viewers? Because Doc has already introduced himself, and we have already tapped into the conversation about Science on the Move.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zolile Mguda, Wasepai. I'm a lecturer at UNISA in the Department of Mathematical Sciences. I am an astronomer by training.
Oh, that's pretty interesting, Doc. So, Dr. Mguda, would you also please mind explaining to us, Wuti, how does UNISA's commitment to engage scholarship support for learners and communities beyond the classroom? I want to know, Jusa, how does the commitment to engage scholarship support actually help the community and the learners beyond the classroom?
So, South Africa has got 60 million people, give or take. And there is, of those, I think there are like 100,000 people in matric. And I would assume that less than 50% of those do science. So for UNISA to make inroads, there has got to be ways, because we can't reach everyone at the same time. But there has to be ways in which, for instance, some of the sharing of experiences that Prof. Noto has been talking about, some of those has got to be in repositories that people can easily access. And I would ask young people to reach out to UNISA and other institutions, particularly to UNISA, because UNISA has got a huge commitment to improving people's lives by teaching them exactly the skills that Prof. Noto has been talking about. I would ask them to actually get in touch with UNISA and say, these are the problems that we're experiencing. How can you help? Get that conversation going, because it is better that you put forward the assistance that you require, so that we can help with that, rather than we come and tell you how we can help you without even taking time to learn what your challenges are. Am I making...
Yes, I understand, Doc. Doc, I see that the program also focuses on some quite interesting areas like nanotechnology, astronomy, and robotics. So far, where do you see the future of robotics in South Africa going?
Yeah, interesting, right? So my best answer would be that robotics is a technology that's booming right now. And it's similar to cars, how cars were around about 1900. Right? So it is difficult to determine how far the technology will take us, right? Because I think using what we know now, we would probably believe that people will have their own robots that are going to be their own personal house domestic assistant, right? That's what we are thinking about, and it is quite possible that a robot that can do all of that will probably be able to do all of the work that is required at a factory, for instance. But then again, factories are already putting robots to use to actually do all sorts of high-tech stuff. So my view is that robots will probably remove some of the labor that we do, which also means that some of the jobs that are available might be defunct. However, there is always space for human contact. There is always space for the human touch. There's always space for the human intuition, and which then becomes the challenge of the student of the future. The student of the future has got to have more intuition than we did when we were growing up.
Thank you very much, Doc. Dr. Noto, so this comes from our technician, and he would like to ask that with regard to astronomy, is the world around so the question is, please ask if the world is round of a stationary plane. With
I think that's a very good.
Say what now?
I have written the English you wrote here. So I think it's basically it's a question directed especially to Dr. Mguda regarding whether on the shape of the world and the surface around it.
Okay, all right. That's an interesting one, right? So the actual, in general terms, right, the world is round. Okay. However, because it's spinning, it's a little fat around the edge, around the equator.
It's fat.
As a matter of fact, it's a little below the equator that it's a little fattened, which also means that the world is essentially a little pear-shaped, right? But the interesting bit is that because of the size of the whole Earth, right, the bulging is so small compared to the actual size of the Earth that we essentially, for all intents and purposes, it is a smooth sphere.
Very, very interesting, interesting takes there. Prof, we are laughing behind. I'm sure you must have heard the giggles behind there before you saw myself. My name is Musi, and this is Umweketi, and one is taking care of us right there on the technicals. And so the reason that it's prompting us, right, to want to engage more, and we don't have too much time. I really wish that you guys would have come to studio so that we can have this conversation slightly a bit longer and a bit deeper, because now you are, how do I put it? You are prompting us as in the studio as we speak right now. There are flat earthers and there are round earthers, and we always have this.
Oh, okay. No. I'll answer that one.
Yes, sir.
I'll answer that one. It is round. It's round.
That's
like we go with that.
We won't finish. We won't finish, right? Because we've
okay. So
yes, sir.
So, sir, the thing about flat Earth is that science is based on observation.
Yes, sir.
It is legitimate when you are looking at Earth where you are. It is legitimate to actually think where it looks flat, right?
Yes, sir.
But when you look at the world beyond what you can see at this particular moment.
Yes, sir.
When you accept that other people in other countries are kind of seeing the same thing.
Yes, sir.
Right? Then when you put all of those together, it is only in a spherical Earth that we can actually be able to see all of those things together as a collective.
Yes, sir.
I'm making sense?
You are. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, so I feel like we won't finish, because it really gets us going, even when we're in studio and we're debating it. And each of us individually have brought on some of the evidence, or the research, rather, let me put it that way, that we've each individually done, right? But it really gets us going. So I think this poses, or rather begs, for us to have a two-part of this engagement and this discussion, and it would be really lovely to have both of you in studio sitting right here with us so that we can show this demonstration and show the evidence, or rather the research that we have, because I hear the passion coming from you saying that the earth is round, right? But you know how flat earthers are. Flat earthers would really argue and say, based on this and that, and why aren't we falling off, and what events. It's a really interesting conversation for me, specifically because I've also done a bit of my research, and when you look into it, the evidence is there to I don't know there's questions to be baked. So I think it would be interesting to have you guys both in studio so that we can have a part 2 of this engagement. Mr. B, talk to me, my brother.
That can be arranged.
Sorry,
perhaps even perform
That can be arranged.
some tabletop experiments as well.
Yes, sir.
Live in studio, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
if possible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing, Doc. So, a last question just before we let you go. I wanted to know, what advice would you give to learners who feel intimidated by science or mathematics but still want to pursue careers within those fields?
Oh yeah, maybe I can have the first take. Science learner relationship is more like a bicycle boy-child relationship, or a football and a boy-child relationship. It's not something easy to tackle at first, but it's something that you need to be open to trying out. When you go to communities, football is the first thing, or riding a bicycle is the first thing that we want to try as boy childs, and we are open about it. Even the community is open; they are willing to support us. And now that says, with all that support that we are getting, it becomes easier for us to give it a try. Not that we are going to get it right at the very beginning, but we know that I'm going to fall if I'm riding a bicycle, or if I'm kicking a ball, I'm going to kick it wrongly. But after a couple of practices, then I get to kick it correct. I get to ride the bicycle correctly. So the relationship it's similar to that as well. So for someone that is trying out sciences, they're interested, they want to give it a shot. The first thing is be interested, be confident that you're going to try this out, and then find someone who's going to take you through sciences. Because if you don't have the correct person, there's no way you're going to enter that, because every obstacle that you come across, the child in you is going to tell you this is not achievable. This is meant for the likes of Dr. Mguda only, not myself as someone that is learning. But if you are open and you are willing to try this over and over, then you are likely to succeed. And then choose someone that is going to walk the road with you. If you don't have someone correct to walk the path with you, then you're unlikely to make it. It will always be difficult, and it will remain difficult. Be open to trying.
Try is the best.
That's my take for now. Dr. Mguda, you might have a different approach.
I have exactly the same approach, but the interesting thing about learning things, right, is that we learn differently, right? And the thing about the learning differently bit is that this is why you have got to do it on your own, so that you can find out what's the best way for you to take on new ideas, to learn new things. Right? So there are some people who will read something and remember it. There are some people whose memory is absolutely horrendous. They don't remember things, but they are capable of creating intuitions that make them look at something and make sense of it. So knowledge is essentially about making sense of the world around us. So the fact that it's going to be difficult, we take that as a given, right? But one of the things that helps is knowing that it's not only difficult for you, it's difficult for generally everybody else. And it's only difficult until you understand it, after which it's clear as daylight, right? And as Udigela says, the most important thing is get interested, get involved, and enjoy the journey with its, what to call this, of course. Yeah.
in closure to both of you, or to either of you, and I could be wrong, I stand to be corrected, you'll correct me on this one, but I think in society we've seen slightly the male child gravitating towards the study of science as opposed to the girl child. Why do you think is that? If if at all that's the case and that's the truth when it comes to those statistics?
These are higher grade questions. Prof. Noto,
higher grade questions. That's funny.
Thanks for that again, Dr. Mguda. I think the environment plays a big role in how we shape our lives, how we learn, the kind of people that we grow up to be. So I'll take it back to the example of football and riding a bicycle.
Yes, sir.
To ride a bicycle is now a norm. No one is going to scare you about riding a bicycle or anything. They're just going to encourage you. Ride that thing, ride it. Fall a couple of times, and then after falling, you are likely to learn how to ride a bicycle. So with sciences as well, I think we carry the same perception. So we carry through the same teachings to whoever is trying to learn sciences. For starters, let's look at black people in relation to white people. Sciences have been there around white people, and they were encouraged to do them. It's a normal thing. No one is going to tell them this is it's difficult, it's scary. And within the black communities, you'd find only one or two people that understand sciences, and once they know them, the only way for them to remain superior is for them to scare people around them, right? And then once you are scared, then it becomes difficult for you to even try to attempt something. Hence, I was saying earlier, find the correct person that is going to walk the path with you. Now, with boys and girls, the society has already taught us that certain things are meant for boys only and not for girls. And it has been proven that ladies learn better than boys, and they eventually become very good scientists. I mean, there are many theories which were published by ladies. There are many fundamental findings which were found by ladies, or let's say women, not men. So we all have enough chance to become great scientists. It's not like the probabilities are favoring a man or a boy child or a girl child. So we can all do it.
No, very interesting stuff. Very, very interesting.
Maths does not care how you appear. It really, maths does not care if you're black, you're white, you're male, you're female, you're tall, you're short. It actually says, can you follow these thought processes, philosophical thought processes?
Yes, sir.
So our world is changing, and part of that change is based on the framing that we're using. Okay, for instance, like traditionally, there are some sciences that have been preferred, that have been dominated by ladies, right? And I think biological sciences have generally been
female
dominated by ladies.
Yes, sir.
Physics, on the other hand, it's been dominated by men by and large. It might have a lot to do with the framing.
Okay.
And what is currently happening, and research being done on people who are qualifying from universities. It has been found that the number of people who are qualifying from universities now, ladies are qualifying more than guys.
Yes, sir.
And not only that, the ladies are generally, on average, getting better marks. Right? So which proves that there was something in the framing that it has now changed. Right? And but the thing about that is, we have to remember that it all starts with that having a relationship with the science that you're doing that actually says, yeah, this thing is challenging, but I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to have so much fun when I figure it out. Now, we as guys, we take it as a matter of honor to show that I'm going to figure it out before somebody else does. Ladies generally are not that competitive about it. They just want to figure it out for their own selves. And there is a lot of purchase in the fact that when you actually do that, you don't put yourself under pressure to perform, which also means that your chances of doing it in the long run are much better without it affecting your mental health.
I see you, gentlemen.
We go crazy.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So much insight that has been shared by both of you. And like I said a second ago, it really begs for us to have a part 2 of this engagement where both of you will hopefully join us in studio and perhaps even work in a demonstration, and try to have not a debate as such, but an engagement, for those who believe that the earth is flat and those of us who are still on the round earth side of things. I think it would be a great engagement that will be hopefully aimed at giving so much information and knowledge. I think all these conversations and discussions we have are not just about showing up one on each other and wanting to highlight who's smarter than who, but just to try and give so much information and knowledge to the viewer who's both listening and watching right here on the Vuga Breakfast Show. So with that being said, thank you so much to the both of you, and we really appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with us and share a bit of your insights.
Thank you, Vuga.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Mguda. Maybe we might meet again at JPO. Who knows? Because I heard that it's starting again next month. So you never know. But I do hope that you guys have an amazing day. We'll see. Thank you very much. We were in discussion right now with Dr. Noto, Noto, and Dr. Z Mguda, basically discussing the world of science and mathematics when it comes to the educational system of South Africa. And their aim is to teach and preach the world of science and mathematics to the young minds that are out there in the world. We are taking it one step at a time, like we once said, one step for mankind and one leap for the world. So we do hope that we'll have a sit-in discussion with them again in studio and maybe also have a demonstration. But right now we're going to take a short break, and then after that we'll be back with more amazing news.
Get Kodo where I live. Still the same number. If you got it, you can hit me. Pull up to the park, I'ma match you on a sticky. I ain't tryna be nobody, I ain't gotta be. 100 bands up shopping at the Dollar Tree. Never been a type that gotta act, gotta lie. I just go and get the bread and bring it back to the tribe. Seem like every captain gotta maintain the cap. You can make change,
Welcome back, Vuga Nations. I hope you guys are doing okay. Because Vuga Nation. So right now,
you gotta be who you really be, shine from the inside.
Vuga Nation without the S. So right now I just want to discuss something that's kind of been like a very sore thing for me, and it's been a sore thing for like quite a while. Indaba mafaten set. I don't think cohabitation is actually something that is necessary that people need to go through. Like, if you're not married, don't do a fatten set. Just wait for your time to be married and you guys can live together properly in unison. Why do a fatten set if you guys are not married? Because at the same time, it also just sounds like the person is getting the whole cow, or they're getting the whole milk without actually buying the cow. That's what I'm getting on my side. I don't see the whole point of doing a fatten set. Like, for me, I feel like it's very unnecessary. Why should
the lady or the guy?
Both, on both sides. Because sometimes you do find a guy that will actually go and live with a lady. But in most situations, it's mostly females that actually go and live with the guys. For me, I don't see the whole point of that. Why when Zifaten said, like, it makes no sense. Until Ntroa, that's when you guys can actually officially live together. Because we've seen so many instances where people do fatten said for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, no lobola, nothing. Because that person is literally getting the whole cow. So why should I even go and pay? Why should they even go and pay lobola if they're getting the whole if they're getting milk without actually having to buy the whole cow?
So at what stage would it then be considered fucking set? Like if someone visits a weekend, ne, would you consider that fucking set?
Yeah.
I wouldn't, because there's such a thing as like a weekend away. I think for me it's when you literally go there and you're there for literally more than a week. Because when it's like more than a week, you're kind of already sipping into the whole.
What if my partner comes to me 6 days a week, and then she doesn't complete a week, but it's just 6 days,
yeah.
And then she goes back home, and then she comes through 6 days. Is that fat and sit? In your humble opinion?
Not really.
Yeah, then I can do that.
There should be a clear
then I'm safe. Yeah, because I want us to first
definition of what is a fat and set, because I believe fat and set is when you are living with someone. There's no visiting.
There's no visitation. There's
Like,
no you exiting over the weekend each and every single time or each and every single weekend. You are literally there Monday to Sunday. You probably only go visit your parents' house once in a month.
Yeah, even because when we look at the etymologies of words, where is this word deriving from?
Was it just understand etymology?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. Like, personally, I don't know where this is coming from, because I think this is an Afrikaans word, right, which is fat and set. But with our
playing house then.
Yeah, with our native languages, what do we call it? If when you have to call fat and set with your language, Kasetswana, Kasizulu, what do they call it normally?
It doesn't have. It doesn't. I don't think it has.
Yeah.
Keep it.
Ukipita ngeZulu, abanye bantu will call it that, and then bawang bakaratsameka mantlong king.
No, but those are made up words that we formed in our in our neighborhoods colloquially, right? Even the term fat and sit, right? To sit in Afrikaans is to sit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, depending on the context of the word, right? It's either to literally sit down or sit, or to dwell, or right. To fat is to fetch, near Mr. B, if I'm not mistaken. Fat. Yeah.
You fat.
Not so in that sense,
it's those kinds of things. And so there's this guy, guys, I'll show you his videos. He's been exploring these words that we use in our neighborhoods, in our communities, that we came up with. As a society, specifically the black society in South Africa, right? So he's been exploring those words, and I'll show you some of his videos. And so he explores where it derives from, the etymology of it, and the context and how it came about, right? And so these words were created in a certain era, at a certain time of the world, or of the country, or of society, but if we look at it, to fat and sit veleki, you are there dwelling without, I guess, going through the proper channel.
You are invading.
It's not necessarily an invasion. But if me and my girlfriend move in together, is that a fat and sit?
It is.
It is.
Because it's illegal, like here.
Yeah, illegal.
It's illegal.
And guys, I don't want to comment.
So
for me, yes, you and your girlfriend could move in together and live together, but in reality, it's still fat and say, because y'all are not married, and that's the problem.
Let's define it. Okay, let's define what is fat and say. Let's define it.
In cohabitation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the problem is that people have a thought that, you know what, once we cohabit, it's actually us basically just building a stable relationship. But it's not the fact, because when you look at the stats of people who've actually tried this whole cohabitation situation, a lot of it ended in tears. And I'm going to give out an example here, which is something that I experienced recently of somebody who's close to me. They went through that and they cohabited, and now konamanje like pelile Joe, like you don't understand where it's going, you don't know where to
People that
go.
got married
From Mama said.
No.
Or like who went through the proper channels.
Yeah.
Or the so-called legal and
recognized
acceptable channels. Yeah.
Now go back pelile.
Sure.
So the reason I'm saying it's illegal is when you go to the states, right? Certain states, when you live with someone, I think for more than 5 to 10 years, you're considered
married.
Yeah, legally
even in
married.
South Africa.
You understand? Yeah. So obviously, when we look at it at the cultural perspective, when you go out with someone, for example, if I would go out not personally and live with someone, my dad will be against that to say you cannot take someone else's child. You understand? Yeah, it's a penalty and it's a fine if things have to be done properly, right? But you said you are against the fat and set.
Where is that coming from? Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
But where is this coming from?
Because
Ugila Fatten said that you came back. Like,
No.
what prompting you to talk about the
I've never actually done fat and set.
Okay. So
I've
where
never
is this
even
coming
visited for like a week. For me, it's coming from a situation where I've seen people who are close to me, be it family or friends, and they've done the whole fat and set situation, and it always ended up in tears. And in my head,
Always
I'm like,
is a strong word. Be careful of that.
for them, for the people that I know.
So they've done it more than once. Multiple times.
Yeah, there are some people that I know have done it more than once. Who have done it more than once and have done it multiple times. They've done it with more than one partner, and they always say, you know what? Everything is gonna be okay. Only for it to come down crashing and burning. And I always need to. They always come back to me, and I always need to act like the reasonable person, become empathetic over something that I clearly warned you about. Why leave the comfort of your own house for something that you are not 100% sure about? Because once you get into a whole fat and set situation, the problem with that, it's for me, I think it's because it offers too much comfortability to such a point that you don't necessarily see the point of maybe getting married, and it becomes a situation where it leads on to so many years, and then when it ends, you find yourself stranded, especially as the person who moved into the other person's place, because now you've slowly become very dependable on them. Also, you don't pay rent anymore. You don't pay rent anymore. You don't buy electricity. You don't do so many certain things.
But to cohabit,
It's different from what you're describing.
So I've got 2 questions. The first one is, if my family and her family knows ukuthi siyahlalisana,
Yes.
right? Masihlalisana. Is that still if I didn't say it, right? We're not married, but then we spoke about it, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one is that, does it always end in tears now?
Not always. Abanye abantwana, there are orphans out there. Yeah, I mean, you can date someone who's an orphan, and the reason why they will say it's a fat and set is because it's coming from your, sometimes
They're
it's
seeking
friends,
security
your
at that
family.
moment.
Yeah, so I don't think it's entirely wrong, because there's the conversation I was listening to of these 3 guys, right? They were speaking about how black people, back in the days had systems, and nowadays in the modern times those systems are broken, right? We knew for you to live with someone else, you needed to be married, because that's a properly built system, a sustainable business, not as businessmen.
Did I not mention it yesterday morning? And this boy is coming out in the things that he's saying, and he's saying them bit by bit. Yes.
It's a sustainable system, because a lot of guys, they came out and themselves publicly, they were like, I've became more successful because I got married. Back in the days, those were the systems that were built. So nowadays, looking at what Aziz said in his book called Modern Romance, it's because of the proximity thing has been broken now, because now people have more access to date people who are far from them, right? So the dating pool and the dating world has expanded. So I can go to Europe because now
it's a fat and set.
Exactly. Okay, if I'm with a white woman, is that a fight and set? If I'm with a Spanish woman out there, is it a fight and set? Right? I can travel to Europe. Does it mean I have to
and come back after 3 years?
Them, you
no, then I come back after 3 years after it's not worked out, and then everybody will say, "You go palate." Fat and set. I'm Spanish.
Now you're a return soldier.
So here's the thing. I think this is and that's why I say saying always for me personally, Africa is a very dangerous thing. Saying always, right? Because there's successful stories that have come and say like proper families that were built on what one would describe as a fat and set, right? And so I barely ever use that word. But do I condone those kinds of circumstances and situations? Not really. But I don't approach it as a blanket approach and want to standardize it and make it a thing that works across the board for everyone. Because it doesn't. It doesn't. It's very circumstantial. It's situation to situation. I could end up living with Unomfundo Post or Nomi P. And you don't know what's happening. We're not outside.
You guys are just roommates.
You get what I'm trying to say? In my neighborhood, they say Musi Anunku Segathara and co-present and they're doing a fat and set. You get what I'm trying to say? So I think as a community, we're very quick to jump on. You understand? So we're very quick, I think, as a society, to jump on those kinds of things. Sure, talk to me, Mr. B.
So there was, okay, I'm throwing in another question. The first one was, at Afria though, Uguti, if you tell your family
that
you're
is that
a fat and set? Number two, does it also have to do with age? Because an 18-year-old it's frowned upon. Ne?
Yes.
But a full-blown adult, divorce,
Luyanda.
divorce. My child is no longer a teenager, and I don't want to get married. So and I see this person, no, maslale sonke, but I'm from
Yeah.
For someone that age, 40 and above, is that a fat and set?
No.
Two questions.
For someone that age, I don't think.
So then what? Okay, what is?
It's probably it has to do with the whole age situation, because man, like an 18-year-old, or for example, unfortunately in this day and world that we live in, you even find 16-year-olds running away from home. You wanna control me, mama, nyahamba, and then they wanna.
But for those ones, that's refuge.
That's fine, but let's talk about an 18-year-old versus a 40-year-old. What is a fat and set? Then who would be fatting and setting between the two of them? There's a 45-year-old who walks out and says, "Mr. P, I'm going to live with you," and we're cool. And then there's an 18-year-old who says, "Musi, I love you, I'm going to live with you. I'm done with high school. I'm an adult now. I want to live with you and I love you." So who's fatting and setting between the two of them?
And what's the difference?
The difference, number one, would probably be the age difference, but the one fatting and setting for me would probably be the 18-year-old. So
are you saying that the person that you know, so it means by your statement, the person that you know, because clearly they're above 18, I guess, the people that you say you know, so they are above 18, so you can't describe them as fatting and sitting, because they are, right? Are they not?
They are.
Yeah, so how are they doing fat and sit if they're above 40? Hey, fatting and sitting. How are they above 40 but then you say it's a problem that they came back now? And I think home is a refuge place. If your life does not work out in the streets, I believe that you can always come back home and come rejuvenate and take power, Chief. So talk to me. What's happening here?
For me, I think it's because okay, let me put it like this. The whole problem with me with the whole fatting and setting is people not being able to set up a safety net for themselves. a security. And then once you come back, you find that your family has kind of like moved on to you not being there.
Fine.
I'll make another example, like with my kid, the person that I'm referring to. My kid is struggling so hard to adjust to this whole situation, and it's not only him; it's also my brother. But because for them it's very confusing. They're looking at this person, they're like, "Bro, you're old. Why don't you have your own place or your own room?" But because that person did not set up a safety net for themselves, where they have a leg to fall on, it's not a bad thing going back home. But I'm saying that in some situations, when you go back home and you find that the family unit has kindly moved away from you actually being there, and you're not even a thought at that moment. There's not even a single trace of
That's
you.
a different conversation. I'm saying if an 18-year-old says, Musika Horata, I love you, I want to live with you, and I agree, and they come and they live with me, by virtue of your statement, you said that would be considered a fat and sit, right? Nally, that girl would be doing fat and sit. So how is it fat and sit for this person that you're referring to if they are 40 and above? Because when we try to distinguish between the two, you said the 18-year-old would be the fat and sit, and the 40-year-old would just be living with Mr. P.
Hayi phela uthathile umfaka phansi kwephiko lakhe.
Sengihamba nomoka nje strateni. Hey babavuka bone.
Bancincisana.
All right, so I think it's the situation. The age thing for me matters not. All right, so the age thing is whatever. I would say. Even I wouldn't say, let me not say what I would say, right? Because I don't know what people's situations are. But do I condone not taking the proper channels? Not necessarily. But it's dependent, because I can't use that as a blanket approach, Mr. B. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because you find some people will tell you that I'm not looking to get married, but I want to live with my person.
Yeah.
Right? And we have our own agreement, and we have a structure that we've put in place for us to live.
It's working for us.
And it's working for us.
Exactly.
In a sense, Suguti, you've got your own backing.
Absolutely.
The days Lugana,
absolutely.
Your possessions are your possessions.
Here's our agreement. Should the day arrive that you and I part ways. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
So, Afri, are we talking about an exit strategy here?
An amicable one at that.
Yeah, I would say by the time relationship iphela, because there's a lot of women as well within marriage settings that end up going back home. Bamba bangatholanga next.
Yeah.
Right? Even though bashadile and bona azange bayenze ifat and set.
Yeah.
When you say that, you remind me of an example that also happened over the weekend, where my uncle's friend is married, but married to 2K. When he came back home, he found his bags outside the yard. I was like, go back to where you came from, or go back to where you were living, because you disappeared. I get. If you were gonna go back home, then go back there. It's all having an amicable
split
is the problem, is the problem, because not everything actually ends up it actually ends up on the right foot, and that's where it becomes a bit of a problem, because people turn to become too dependent on the fact, especially in fact the fattenses, when I'm saying that become too dependable, it's mostly the females. My man's pays the rent, he does this and this and that, to such a point that you now lack accountability as a person, or you now lack the own responsibility of being able to pay for your bills. Now you are gone. You don't even have a plan B. If everything goes up, you don't have a place to go to, a place to run to. You sold whatever apartment that you had, or you're no longer renting where you were renting, when you could have done a co-lease, a sub-lease the place, so that when this kind of thing happens, you already have a place to go back to. So
this happens in marriages as well.
Yeah, because this thing, I feel like, we are going in too deep with it. Because for me personally, it's the term, Yeah, I mean, what's the difference with someone who is, in a marriage and someone who's doing a fat and set? More than anything, the systems that these people are living with are the same. Understand? It's just that these ones,
How they went about it.
yes,
Is the difference.
you know, so the difference is that Barbare, they are doing the fat and set. If I believe a fat and set is when you know you are questioned each and every time your family is like, hey man, like what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
Yes.
When you are being questioned with that, I would say that's a fat and set. But now if my dad's girlfriend will come to me and say, "Mfethu, we came say it
Why does your dad have a girlfriend?
What did I say?
But you
said your dad. You said your dad's girlfriend. Your dad's girlfriend.
My girlfriend.
Is your dad dating? Is your dad dating?
Why does your dad have a girlfriend? Kid? But
So
yeah,
if my
Girlfriend's dad.
come to me and ask me the question that, hey, my brother, we came me say then I give him the answer.
There's
and
only
say,
2 years
sharp.
validity.
You can continue living with her up until you organize your thing, and then you guys can get married. Then we can say that's a fat and set because I have
Or
gotten
umtshela up
permission.
front ukuthi no, the plan is not to get married.
Yes.
And then if
I was
if we're
about to
sharp-
say. I was about to say that I think the connotation that is attached to this term is that it's just people who are cohabiting, outside of the normalized procedures of two people who are a couple living together. That's the connotation around it, right? But situations differ from one another, and I think this is where we lose it as a society, as individuals in society rather. For the, you don't understand why those two people are living together.
Yeah.
There is the often factor that you just mentioned. For the about to at Meckham, and we start talking and we strike up a nice conversation and engagement and energy exchange, only to find that her living situation is not the greatest of one. And I found this out after like 5 months. You know, and she's been visiting how 2 days in Yana,
Yeah.
you know, but only to reveal to me, baby, please don't be surprised. The thing is, here's my situation 1, 2, and 3. And then, because I love this person, I'll take it upon myself. It's again, Donna. I'm not saying that I'll be able to help you completely, but at least we can try and find a living situation for you that's more stable, not permanent, but stable. I understand. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I think the connotation around the term is not such a great one.
Yes.
And it is attached to people who are thought to be living together outside of the normalized procedures and protocols of society, which is and go through that whole process of mahadi and getting married and dowry and all those kinds of things. Then we can then live together as a couple or one. But because we don't understand, we just call everything a fat and
And
set.
are we saying everyone who's living with their partner right now not married?
Yes,
are they doing fat and set?
That's what I
everyone.
mean. That's the connotation.
Hence, we wanted to define fat and
Fat and
set.
set ukuthi-
But man, I think, in my own humble opinion, ukuthi fat and set umuntu ongazange avalelise.
Uphuma to yothengisa indlu.
And then ahamba yohlala nomuntu.
Sekushaba ma 5 years wakabu. Uhlala Kabo Sibongise. You live Kabo Sibongise. Sibongise. Where's Sibongile?
Yeah, you're right, because that's why when there's conflicts, they'll say
It's weird. Yes. No, when they come back, when things don't work out, no fat and set again. Our adults are and our parents, but yeah, it's a very interesting conversation.
living together unemployed also, it's fat and set.
Hey, when I know saying that person
We are both unemployed, like that's fat and set. My
okay,
brother.
but let's say we're together. No, let's say we're married, but we're both unemployed and we live together. Then what's that?
But were we unemployed before we get married?
No, that's not the matter.
The matter is that we were unemployed and we decided to live together.
Okay, we'll get to that one. But
Yeah.
let's say we live together.
Yeah.
We're married.
Yeah.
And the right protocols and procedures. But we're not working. What is that?
A bad business decision.
What is it? Let's say
No,
we went
that one is
signed.
just.
Let's say
it's
you and I
just-
went and signed.
Yeah.
We went and we signed the Komaspala. We're married.
It's easy to sign, guys. It's
Yeah,
easy.
but let's say we've
It's
signed.
easy, man.
And
Yeah,
let's say
that's why I need to. It's a bad business decision.
So it's not fat and set more.
It's not.
I don't
It's just
think
a
it's a
bad
fucking
business
set.
decision.
So here
I mean,
it's
there's
about
something that went wrong, So we are no longer working.
No, we
and
haven't
are
been
both-
working.
So we haven't been working.
Yes.
Aye, guys, why would you get married?
Because I love you.
I never.
You are my person.
When there's no money, love flies out of the window. Man. so for me, I think would I do fat and said yes. I would do fat and said because I think more than anything, people are exposed to a lot of things right now. I think we had a conversation, a discussion where we were talking about now, your nightmares becomes your normal, your realities with someone. So you should have a solid reason for you if you want to be in a fat and set. Why am I doing a fat and set? Is because I want to marry this girl.
No,
I want to know. I want to know
People
her.
don't find themselves in a fat and set knowingly and having said that in your keeping.
But I personally,
People don't do that.
if I'm asked the question, would I do a fat and set? Yes. Why would you do a fat and set? Because I want to get to know a person better, rather than me seeing them occasionally on a Saturday. Because on a Saturday, she's a very good person. I don't know her on a
So
Monday,
are
on a
you-
Tuesday, on a Wednesday.
Are you referring to the thing to better prepare you when
Yeah.
you guys are married?
Yes.
You would condone or want to live
Yeah.
with this person prior to that
I want to
happening.
know who am I
Okay.
getting married
So how
to.
long would that process take? Hey?
The fat and set?
Yes.
I think maybe 6 months.
Okay, after 6
So you
months.
basically
After 6
you
months.
want to do
Yeah.
a test drive.
Like
You think it would
6
inform
months.
you better whether this person would be good marriage material
Let me not
or
lie,
good,
guys.
or
6
good
months, I
like
don't know.
living together material?
Honestly,
Yeah, it's an observation.
Let me not put like a timeline to it. Honestly, I don't know. I don't
However long
know
it will
how
take.
long. Yeah, but living with them as long as I'm satisfied and say, you know what, I think I'm ready to take this person and make them my wife.
And live with
Then
them
and live with
permanently. So
them. Permanently.
So-
24/7.
Yes.
Because with my siblings, before my brother got married, bebahlala bonke.
Before they
You mean
got
your-
married.
your older brother?
You understand? Yeah.
Okay. For how long?
Bebahlala bonke. Maybe 5 years.
Oh,
Nelly and then Nelly.
Nah, same thing
same
as well.
thing.
Same
Yeah,
situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm sure after like a year or two, you guys
Yeah.
have built
No, but
something solid.
sometimes when you face like life for what it is, it's something you want to do to get married. Ne?
Sure.
But then the situation doesn't allow yet.
Sure.
Because you have to budget, you have
Yeah,
to
there's a lot of things to
put
take into
things together. So
consideration.
sometimes, yes, we have Vela, the family knows about you. It's
Sure.
all good. And then Makambi's cards, it's something that I'll make right.
I'll take care of it eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm slightly on the opposite side, and not uthi sihlale sonke before getting married. But I'm of you having your own space and me having my own space, but having a mutual space living together. There's a girl that I was talking to last week.
So we're talking 3 spaces.
Absolutely.
And then, sorry, man. Let's just say financially, it's not feasible.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, if it's not feasible, then we'll have
Sihlala nonke.
sihlala sonke, yeah. But I don't think, and this is something that I got, and it resonated for me. And Trevor Noah said this on one of the platforms on social media. He was on a platform in the US, and he was saying, and I believe this, and I resonate with this. This for me speaks very loudly. Yeah. He says this person, the presenter on that platform, is like, "Hey, what's your stance on getting married?" Asking Trevor, right? And Trevor is like, "Yeah, no, I'm not seeing myself getting married anytime soon." And I'm just paraphrasing here; these weren't his exact words.
Yeah.
But he wasn't necessarily for marriage like that, and I've always been like that. I think I still am. I might change, and I'm open to the change, absolutely. But firstly, I don't think that everyone in the world was meant to get married, because a lot of us are not marriage material, right? Or we haven't done the work to get to a point where we are marriage material.
True.
Secondly, and this is what Trevor shares.
Come as you are.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, but Baba Mbalona, come as you are. Because I'm also so lappy. Musi go vuga, you show me. Second go vuga. And I never come as you are, Mr. B. But the other thing that he says in his response is that he doesn't think that everyone was meant who is a married couple to live together. Everyone, all 7 billion of us in the world. Do you think so? That's the part that really resonated with me. Are being honest, guys. Are being honest. Do you not think that on some level, to some extent, we were conditioned, and the structure was put there for us to say, yes, after getting married, you must live. So everyone, Everyone in the world.
So the Bible talks about the marriage bed being holy.
Sure.
And the devil finds a crack in between the two of you guys.
Sure.
If aniyenzi inkonzo, ne?
Sure.
So the moment when you are, or your partner is in absence of your presence,
Sure.
or vice versa,
Sure.
that's where
The drift
all of these
comes in.
things can creep in.
Sure.
So if one stays le and the other one stays at a separate place, you guys come together occasionally, then there's room for
No, I
the devil to creep in.
Yeah.
I see it
Right.
this way. The occasion is in leaving the mutual space. So not that we come together occasionally. We are apart occasionally as opposed to being together
Living
occasionally.
together.
Right,
yeah.
but you see, Trevor, how, like, the way he was explaining it,
Sure.
I think he's also talking about people who are affluent by nature, ngokwabo. People that have money.
Okay,
But
people who can afford
who
that.
can afford to have,
So
in
you're
the
referring to like a normal Tom, Dick, and
most
Harry.
people,
Okay.
where it's like we can only afford
can-
one
one
house.
house.
So Nzoyapi, where would you go as well?
Yes, but
right?
hey,
So in that case, it's like, yes, we still have a space set, but within our own space, then perhaps if you really want to, then you can create that thing of, let me take time out with the boys,
Sure.
right?
So, but let me ask you this: do you think and believe that every married couple was meant to live together?
I believe that because
So
Again-
the words
again,
that you
sorry.
uttered from the Bible, you take them in a literal sense.
it is, yabona, ngoba it does say the two will become one. And because it's one, how is it that one is now situated in endaweni le kude?
Wangitapisa umo. Wangirasetsa man.
That's
I'm an introvert.
That's funny.
Ula.
But
You
that's
are
the
here.
concept. That's the concept. Ukuthi, it is no longer about you as an
Absolutely.
individual. So it's about Nina no two. So the two becomes one.
But you are an individual before you are a husband. Did I not say that? Last week, did I not share that? Sure.
But if you're gonna get into the institution of marriage, there's these things.
I get that.
You are no longer yourself.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
The two become one.
Exactly.
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah. So le ukuthi umuntu ahambe
Until you
fine.
room kabo speech man. Kulesa strategy
Look,
ngale man.
Even the
Ngama
forum,
Wednesday ngiyolala ngale.
Even the
Then ngizobuya Thursday ekuseni ngizogeza lana man.
Just like
even
polygamy.
the forum,
Yeah.
guys. If you want space, that's why I think like a Makasana, you'd find guys in the weekend by your chill because they need that time away. That's fine.
Ula.
That's fine. But Lega Trevor, it's like nah, you've got your own space.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's because of msebenzi, because if you're dating, let's say, someone who's in the industry,
Sure.
yeah, shoot and say Cape Town, like, okay, I
have
get
an
it.
apartment in
But we're
Cape
talking
Town.
about someone where you've got your own space, la,
Sure.
and then bono basero report,
Yes.
and then shatile.
Yes.
Aye.
We have
So
three
so
houses
you
we
know
can afford.
I disagree with Trevor.
I know people. I know people, especially my friend. She is for the idea of getting married and living in separate houses with, her partner. So I think this also almost hit, in my family, because I really thought the marriage that took place, it was gonna be a thing. Okay, we are married, but udula kwa lona and kidula ko gae. Wabo, because I found out that there are people who get married and then they're like, okay, we believe that God is going to bless us with whatever. So there are people who like get married, but they
Don't have a plan. They don't have a plan.
Homes. You understand? Like the way you
Because
see
of
your
the
girlfriend.
promise.
Yeah, so they have a promise.
No, because of the idea that God promises
the godly
them.
promise.
Yeah, to say God is going to provide, right?
Aye.
God is going to provide. So because we love each other, I think we should get married now, and then God is going to provide a house for us as time goes on, right?
I mean, Bona, I don't see anything wrong.
No, what do you mean?
Yeah?
Here's the thing, and this is where I'm.
No. But I get to the intention, Mo. The intention is to stay together.
Intention means
The
not
problem
reality.
is see, Mo.
Tlogolo bereka ka intention, and this is where I sometimes come in direct contention with ideologists. But who live off ideas? The fantasy is no.
God
the
is going to
reality.
provide.
Well, Yes,
When we
yes.
say, Mo, I
Yes,
love you, baby.
No, but
No, that's exactly what it means.
no, but here's the
That's
thing.
exactly what it means.
No, but here's the thing. If you know, Guti, or if you're a Christian and you believe
Yes.
that umdlalo wecansi is a sin and it draws you away from God, and the very same Bible says if you know what you will burn, get married, because that's Apostle Paul saying that.
Sure.
Then they decide to look just so that we can do the deed.
Yes.
Uhlala kini, ngihlala ekhaya.
Yeah, but who are you
Let's
fooling
get
here?
married.
Who are you fooling here?
No one.
Yeah, but you are, because you're
they're not
wanting to
harming-
justify.
they're not harming anyone,
Physically,
guys.
so you're not. But
No,
now you're harming yourself on a
How?
spiritual level,
How?
because you're using the justification of marriage to want to perform a certain deed, a certain thing, a certain experience, to fulfill a desire of yours. But in
So Afri, you wouldn't do it.
in lying and saying, "More, let's get
I
married."
wouldn't.
Who do you think you're fooling? Who do you want to start? Like the God that we pray to is not a foolish God.
What
I'm
I'm
sorry.
doing.
What are you thinking?
No.
Right? And this is where I was asking
And
you.
then
a
it
second
comes
ago.
back to like Trevor again.
No, but this is where I was asking you, though, the words that you uttered in saying the two will become one, and the Bible says, and this is where I think a lot of people lose it in society as individuals. And we've explored this with Ted when he said that the Bible is interpreted in more than 3 or 4 ways, and he broke it down for us. And most of us who read the Bible, we take it in a literal sense. God says we must live together, and no, like, what are you doing? What are you saying?
Then-
What is your reality in the moment when you're interpreting and reading that Bible?
Then
So
it
do you
means
think, hey, there's a miracle, manna from heaven, that will come down and say, because Mo and Musi love each other and they've gotten married and it's an institution, a sacred God will provide.
have faith,
That was America.
Have
You're
faith.
full of games.
But
You're full of
it comes
games.
back to what Trevor was saying.
Sure.
Ukuthi the two can stay apart,
But still be one.
but still be one.
Absolutely.
But nalana.
It's not a
The two
literal-
are. It's the same thing. Is it not the same thing?
It's not in the sense that, and this is where I was sort of on the opposite side of what you were saying, in that the interpretation is not a literal one, in the sense of saying that just because we have 2 separate spaces and 1 mutual space, I don't think the interpretation of what you quoted is saying physically so.
So you mean that the Lega Trevor is all about options? It's optional.
Absolutely.
Ngapha it's circumstance.
Ngapha you're using the justification of what the Bible is saying to fulfill a certain thing, a physical desire at that, one that you know, one that you know.
but they are
who you
truthful.
fooling here?
No, they are
You're
truthful.
Not, you're not truthful, because
No,
you're
they are
performing
truthful,
this.
knowing ukuthi, look, because we don't want to burn with lust.
Yeah, so who are you
Shade,
fooling,
no.
though? But you're going to burn because it's not genuine.
No, they're not burning.
You are going to burn.
They're
You
not
are.
burning. They're not burning.
You are going to burn.
They decided ukuthi siyabona ukuthi we are burning with lust.
Yes.
Imali akahlangani.
Yes.
Ashade so that we can do the
So
deed.
nishadisa ukuthi nifuna ukwenza the deed.
Yes.
Not ukuthi you are ready psychologically, spiritually,
But
and financially to
Let's
get married.
let's
So
remember.
it's a justification.
Let's remember we don't all get married for the same reasons.
Absolutely, I get
So
you.
laba again, these ones I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Bona bathe, they don't want to burn with
And
lust.
so in the Bible,
So they
that are reading,
choose. So they choose.
They are using the justification of what the Bible is
The
saying.
Bible gives them the permission to do that.
It's a justification in this circumstance.
No, but Paul says if you know what you're gonna burn with lust, ne? Ngcono umuntu ashade so that you don't have to burn with lust.
Ushadeli the right reasons. Ushadeli ukuthi wena ungene embhedeni.
The Bible says that.
That's where I'm contending that it is not a literal thing. Not everything in the Bible is meant to be taken.
Give me another meaning.
No, I won't give. I didn't quote the Bible. You're the one who's coming with the Bible.
That's why I'm standing on business and
That's why I
saying
was asking you, Jorge, everything that you are quoting now and you're mentioning to us, you're taking in a literal sense.
everything.
Everything is
Yeah.
literal.
Yeah.
So it means that we can't be apart with my wife.
You can't be.
Physically, we always have to be here.
You can. No, Moose. You sleep in the same bed. You sleep in the same bed because being apart doesn't mean you can't go to Cape Town, manje.
No, I'm going to spend 3 years in Europe.
Because of umsebenzi.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but for whatever reason. But if, let's say, when it's your choice to go to Yahamba, that's on you. Because that's you literally being apart.
And we love each other.
Yeah, you can still be married, but that's you being apart
So
from
based
your
on what
wife.
you said, it means we are not one. The two are not one.
No, Bega. The two becoming one, you're becoming one being, but then you've got two bodies.
Okay.
Yeah. two bodies.
So I'm asking you, if I live in Europe
see-
for the next 3 years and I just got married 2 months ago, does it mean that we're not one?
No, you can be one depending on how you choose to go about it.
Absolutely, circumstantially.
Exactly. So
these two-
nalana ngiyasho ukuthi bona they are upfront.
Yes.
Bayakhuluma.
Yeah, but who are they
Guys,
trying
the
to-
reason we are getting, they're not
They
fooling
wouldn't
anyone.
say- no one
Beg,
would say
beg.
God will provide.
God will
No,
provide.
the reason Sishata is just so that we don't fall into sin.
Yeah.
But you are going to fall into sin.
Which sin? Sexual sin.
Yes, absolutely. The one of
Kanjani?
burning, because you are using the justification of the Bible.
No, but
You want to
Sishati.
fulfill something. But are you married for the right reasons? Is that the only reason that the Bible propagates and condones people to get married? Absolutely. Never a phase.
Procreation.
That's is one of.
One of,
Yes.
right? But now
But
you're
this one for Bona,
Nenkonzo,
it's
yabona
not
inkonzo.
procreation.
Inkonzo.
Bona is not procreation. It's to
Church.
fulfill physical desire.
Yes, but that's fine.
Yes.
According to the Bible. It's fine.
It is fine if the marriage is genuine for other reasons.
No,
Not
guys.
this one being the ultimate reason. I don't think the Bible that we read it.
But who's to say it's genuine or not?
Because if there wasn't physical desire, they wouldn't be getting married, would they?
But that's a, what do you call this? An
what?
attribute.
Yeah, but they would.
Of
Absolutely.
of us, you know.
So it's a justification.
Kulisutando.
Even the terms that you're coming up with. So that's what I'm asking. You can fool us, people of the world. It's fine.
I'm not
Little
fooling.
shasha.
I'm not fooling anyone. I'm telling you straight. The reason Sishata is because we enjoy being
and we have
intimate.
to take that. We have to like run with it. Bro.
No, you don't have to. When do what you do, Tina, we are doing what we want to do.
And then after Nenza, whatever the physical thing, then what happens? God will provide.
No, it's fine. Like we
Then
continue
there's a
as
child
normal.
involved. You guys are co-parenting.
And God will provide. God will provide.
You are co-parenting while
Guys, it's fine, guys. I mean, I say, whoever's listening, ne, mofuna ukushada, ningahlali nonke.
Stop getting married.
Shada, guys.
Stop.
Get married. Get married. There's a lot of kids that are fatherless. Nama offense.
Asqale lapho, stop having kids. Stop using the justification of the Bible to want to sleep with each other. Stop.
So we should just sleep with each other.
No, you shouldn't sleep with anyone. You shouldn't be sleeping. You shouldn't be sleeping. Guys, you shouldn't be sleeping. Or rather, stop procreating. Stop procreating. And if you know that you don't understand what the consequences or the outcomes of getting in bed with someone will be, then don't do it at all. Prevention is better than cure. Rather not sleep. Don't sleep until you understand until you are able to handle the consequences and the outcomes of sharing a bed with someone. I would rather, and until the age of 25. Because 25 and younger, who's to say you are well off financially, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically?
I think that sentence is how we're gonna wrap it. Mhlambe said it last time. Ukuthi, no, yeah. Ukuthi, look, do not share a bed, whether married or unmarried.
Absolutely.
If you do not understand the consequences
and the outcomes
of sharing a bed with
someone,
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Or
think.
the Bible, God will provide.
Guys,
Here with us.
this is a very heated discussion when it comes to the whole world of Fatten. So my myth before we end it off is that it's just a harmful modern agreement. But the reality is that for many people, it becomes emotional limbo with full access to marital benefits without long-term clarity, structure, or accountability. Now, here's the juicy part. Sociologist literally coined the term cohabitation effect because couples who live together before marriage often report lower relationship satisfaction, weaker commitment levels, and greater instability later on. People call cohabitation a test drive, but relationships aren't cause. Sometimes the test simply normalizes staying in situations that should have ended, not staying in situations that should have ended a long time ago. So please make sure that when you find yourself in that whole cohabitation situation, that it's something that you truly want to get into, and make sure that you always have a backup plan. It's better to be safe than sorry. Like Musi also said, prevention is better than cure. So right now we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back very soon.
Cops, I don't eat pork chops, no. So we got the city on lock, it's going down, young Jai, yeah. Then they put you on trial. I was just a young child. Gave you 25 to life, all these years gone by. And you never asked why. All you did was pray to God, all you did was waste your time. Now you about to come home, and I'm about to have a child, it's gonna be worthwhile.
Welcome back again. And now, unfortunately, it's time for us to say sayonara. We hope that you guys enjoyed the show today and that you also enjoyed the amazing talks that we had with Dr. Z Mguda and not forgetting Dr. L Noto. And yes, we will invite them again to come back to have a much more breakdown of the conversation, and hopefully we'll be able to also do experiments here at the station. But for me, Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Plays. What to the darker the berry, the sweeter than Don Imnanti Mamnyama, Mom Shopilik Tekatek put Marloko from Manamawatai Komaka. His song on a money, and I'm saying sayonara to you guys. I hope you guys enjoy your Wednesday. Cannot wait to see you again tomorrow on Thursday morning, because we'll definitely be bringing you the best of the best. Guys, do you have any last words that you'd like to say to our viewers?
Yeah, man. What do you call fat and set is
good.
I think it's something that we need to.
We must do more.
We must explore, and expand more on this discussion, because I feel like more than anything, we need to find proper and formal ways to explain, okay, what is it to live with someone? Living with someone is not fat and set. Living with someone is trying to get to know them. Yeah, it's trying to. You don't have to use those words, you understand? Because I feel like those words are the ones that are creating a toxic environment and a toxic societies for most people, because someone out there, they feel like, for me to live with someone, I have to get married to them, which also brings a lot of stress and a lot of ideas in their head. So I feel like it's not to do fat and set, but it's to know someone better, because there's spaces out there. If I go rent out a flat, I live with someone, I'm not fatting and setting with them. I'm trying to get to know this person. I'm trying to get to know this person so that me and her, we can be a better and a valuable members of society. I mean, there's people out there who got married and they're an example of a society. I don't want to go on shows now. My wife is reporting me. I'm on Facebook. I've been reporting that paper health. No, I want to be an example to my community that marriage is a good thing, guys.
What if someone says to you, Mo, you are enjoying the fruits of marriage without actually being married? Then what would you say to that?
Oh, by doing the fat and set?
No, by saying when you are getting to know this person, but you are enjoying the fruits and the benefits of marriage without actually being married. Then what would you say?
I mean, if I have to enjoy something that has to come last. Mavulela. Look, I believe there are people who enjoy doing the things that they're supposed to be doing at the
things
end,
that make the post to be done.
So I'd rather enjoy what they call an end goal, which is getting married. I'd rather have those fruits at the beginning, and then
what happens when you finally get
fruit
to
salad?
No, when what?
When you get to that point where you should be now enjoying those fruits, then what happens?
No, I think I would have learned now. Okay, I've started with the part that I was supposed to end with.
Yes.
You're not going to have a fruit salad at the end.
How are you going to end?
How am I going to end?
Yeah, because you've already enjoyed the conclusion.
I'm not going to end because that's what people believe. The reason why there's high rate of divorces is because now people have started with the process of, going through that thing. Okay, I'm going to get married at the end. There's a destination.
It's a journey.
And your destination, when you get there, you find out, this is not where I wanted to be. The next thing, you get divorced. So I'd rather enjoy those fruits at the beginning so that whenever I get to what they call
and then move on and get someone else.
When I get to what people call the end goal, that's where I've learned, okay, no, this is marriage. I understand it's a journey. We're going to get through different phases, and then from there on, we live what we call happily ever after. You know,
Interesting. No, I mean we have very different takes, and I always love learning people's perspectives. You know, especially when they differ from mine, and they somewhat on some extent, or on some level to some extent, oppose how I see it and what my perspective is. Hey man, just go home, man.
if she's an orphan, would you marry an orphan?
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know.
It's got no bearing.
It doesn't. Yeah. So whether you're orphan, I'm an orphan right now, and
go back to your home.
You know, no, I live at home, but I'm an orphan by virtue of circumstance.
No, I'm saying you telling them that go back to your home, and they go back to their.
Hey man, banyana. Baby Maru, right? Hey man. Hey. No, I'm kidding, guys. I don't know. It's. I think it's an interesting topic to really explore, and it would be fun to get engagement from the Vuga Nation, you know, and everyone on underground as well. Well, is Fatanset prominent in Durban? Like, is it something that's there? Maybe we should ask.
Even in the various cultures.
Yeah.
Because we know in our black communities, it's like okay. But I want to ask,
normalized it,
within
but it's
Indian culture.
Yeah. We've normalized it, and we've become so desensitized, and not just to it. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying we normalized something that was not there. That was quite taboo. You know, I guess in our parents' era when growing up and stuff. Like I know, like getting pregnant before a certain age or before marriage. Like Mama Letisi, when they would, I don't know what the equivalent term for it is in English, but you know, they would do it very early in the morning so that the neighbors would not see that, you know, the child of that house has done whatever they did, you know. But yeah, hey guys, if people want to get married, get married. If you don't want to get married but live together, go for it. Knock yourselves out. Like, each to their own. We are drawn to different things. We accommodate different things. We have become desensitized to different things. Like, each to their own, man. But what's anymore, you know, I would say. But yeah, would I do a fat and sit? No. 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 But maybe I'm also coming from a naive place. I'm also maybe perhaps coming from an inexperienced place, a lack of experience, and I'm coming from a not so informed place. I smell of powder milk. Not even the plastic milk. Do you know the plastic milk that you used to buy, Mr. B? Well, it's a plastic. But yeah, I smell of powder milk, Chief Nestam. So I'm still quite young, so I perhaps might not know what I'm talking about. But yeah, if people want to do whatever they want to do, whether it's fat and sit or cohabitation, whatever the case is, knock yourselves out, guys.
Let them do it.
Yeah, do it and run far and wide with it.
Guys. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's fat and sit. Baby, let's fat and sit. Would you propose to your girlfriend and say, baby, let's fat and sit?
I would. Me myself.
You would propose?
But
I almost did.
They do it in a nice way.
How do they do it?
Yeah.
They use the word move in.
Let's move in together. I never.
It's the same thing. It's just the words are different.
So if you were to get like a nice 3-bedroom apartment now, and your girlfriend says, "Baby, I think we should move in together," would you agree?
Absolutely.
You would do it now where you are in life now.
Yeah,
okay, I wouldn't. I'm sorry. I'm still 26 years. Why am I moving in this summer? Guys, no, I'm sorry.
I would.
I don't think I'm ready yet to be living with someone.
No, I would. Like,
guys.
I like predictability.
I think you know what my problem is, and this is something that I've shared with someone we know, like here, more space in Sarona. But society romanticizes these things.
Moving in together.
Yes, like, baby, let's love together.
It's romantic.
Like, we romanticize it, and
guys,
it comes off as if it's like rainbows and flowers and cupcakes, and it's like, it's great, and like, when
usebenza Midas, and usebenza Pick and Pay, masihlanganisa umkholo, siba great.
Phuma nge-10,000.
iPhone
I guess nah, bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you said you like what? You like predictability.
Yeah, boring.
I like. Oh, okay. You like boring. Yeah. I like stability. I want to walk into a situation knowing exactly what's going to happen. Maybe not exactly, but having like a nice solid idea. All right, sizobona.
Yeah.
Sizobona. I'm sorry. Uzobona go mankwaluna. And here's the way the danger is.
Sometimes.
Sure, sometimes not that it
calls for an adventure or a risk.
Yeah, no.
sometimes.
If you're adventurous, go for it. If you are like a Muslimist, I don't like taking adventures into the unknown. So can end the Black Forest. You don't know what you're going to
go hiking.
You don't know whether you wrong turn. You don't know whether you're going to come out on the other side. There has to be structure for me, Mr. B. There has to be like, what are we doing?
You see, that's where the structure comes in.
What are we doing?
For what?
Why? Wait.
And plus, please bring your dog as well.
Thanks. No. Because I had a girlfriend. I used to date this girl. I won't mention her name. I used to date this girl. They loved pets at her house, and at some point they had cats and dogs. All right, at her house, and I never went to her house.
And it's just one.
Like bonke bayazwana. Everyone, the pets, the people, the family, everyone, they live together. It's like the whole clan, and I never went to her house. Like, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. And I told her. And this one time, she tells me that she was talking to her mom, and her mom asked her, "What no." Because her and I had spoken about it. She told her mom, Musi says because we have dogs and cats here at home, he won't come.
Yeah.
And it wasn't coming from a bad place, but like, I don't do pets, I don't do animals. And that's one of the things. You like having pets and cleaning after them and having them in the house. Now we're here under the table. Yay! I cannot give you a table. I'm sorry. You see why I condone separate spaces. In your space, have cats and dogs. And in my space, I'll do my own thing. I'll have speakers and instruments, and right. Then when you come here, we compromise. We don't sacrifice. I don't want it to feel like it's painful.
You must sacrifice. Sacrifice the remote and sacrifice.
DJ Musimist. Yeah. I am. I'm still very young. I'm sorry. When it comes to that specifically, I am still very young, and thus I recognize that I'm coming from a very naive.
Look, these ideas when they come, because honestly, I had an idea. I think it's still living inside of me to say I would live with someone who is a child. Like, what's that?
You want to step up, Chief.
You want
to step up.
You've shown us actually from last year that you're one person who actually be ready to step up, Mo.
I'm dating some people just for experience, to say, okay, how it feels to have someone call me daddy. If I don't like it, then we have to say It's as simple as that.
No, guys, I'm sorry, I'm still young. I'm turning 26 this year. I'm still way too young. I can't be going through such in life.
There's people who
are living a married kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, married.
You see, NSFAS funds. We put them together. We are a married couple.
Yeah.
So here's my thing, Mr. B. I think most of these things, I much prefer them. My preference is them happening organically. Right? It happens naturally. So this thing,
like toothbrush.
Well, maybe not in that sense, because it's aimed at something, right? It's sometimes it's with the intention of really this person wanting to move in, but not wanting you guys to talk about it.
Yeah.
Right. So don't want to. It's an artifice. It's a new word I learned. Don't want to. I keep my but don't want to be smart at my expense. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
But we love each other.
Yeah, but talk to me. Talk to me.
Loving you equals me to moving in.
No, it doesn't.
And I'm here. And I brought my.
But if it happens organically and it's natural and it feels it doesn't feel forced. Like I don't want to feel like one correlates. You're pushing up on me now in my space. And then we can you can. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But that's just me.
Yeah.
MWOCWE missed. That's my take. That's how I feel about it. It'll be love and fun and exciting to hear from you. To see what do you think of this conversation? Cohabiting? Is it cohabit?
Cohabit.
Cohabitation.
Cohabitation.
What is it?
Right?
Cohabitation.
Cohabitation. Whether it is fat and set or cohabitation, we would love to hear from you, right? Do you condone it? Are you for it? Would you do it yourself? Or it's cohabiting? Right, cohabiting. Have you done it?
I'm a habit snacks.
Can you have it? Are you doing it? Do you have family members who have done it? Are you someone who would do it? It would be fun and great to hear from you. And that's what we have for you for this Wednesday edition of the Vuga Breakfast Show. Brought to you by the Blinko Network, coming to you live all the way from the Vuga studios right here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon, right next to Zondi Hills, just before you get to Bromfisher Kloof. From us as the Vuga team, we would love to say stay safe, stay warm, stay cautious. God willing, we will see each other bright and early tomorrow morning, where we give you your daily dose of positivity that is accompanied by an energetic start to your day.
We'll be streaming live at Ritzvalley on the 16th of June.